Hey, welcome to my channel, The Portly Gentleman. My name is Bradley. On my channel, I do lots of homebrewing stuff. It's pretty much what I do. Unit tanks, a little bit of DIY, a whole lot of brew tools, and that's what we're doing today. You may say, Bradley, how many CIP videos have you done? Many. People have asked a lot of questions about CIP. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's brand new shiny stuff that's been out for a while. Everyone seems pretty excited. I know I'm pretty excited. I have some opinions and some thoughts, and honestly, there are some aspects of it I didn't think I would like that I do like, which is good. Hoovid and the guys at BrewTools sent me this stuff to review, so we're going to review it. So there's the CIP ball. It's a 1/2-inch thread, tiny, spins. It is designed to work with a smaller pump, and I can tell you, compared to the SS Brewtech Micro, this one does flow much harder when I use it with my Riptide pump. And then next, there's an extension piece, and this piece will fit, you know, obviously, this guy just screws on here. And there's a 4-inch by 1/2-inch thread adapter that the guys put together. Then there's this piece that will let you thread it in to the bottom of your B80 B40 or 150. You put this other extension on there and have really just the maximum shaft. And I can tell you, these boys in Norway, they make a lovely shaft. This stuff is absurdly overbuilt, in my opinion. They must have thought, you know what, we're shipping this stuff internationally. To hell with it. We're going to send something all over the world that's just quality like no other. And these are, you know, they're heavy. It's not something you're gonna drop and break. I'm not thinking whatever you drop it on might get broke. All right, so checking in, we're at the end of the brew day. This beer is my American Noble Kolsch. I love it, but truthfully, I need to adjust the recipe, so I'm not using so much of those Yakima Chief American Noble hops. I need to use more traditional hops because there's like 10 ounces of hops in this thing, and it's not crazy bitter. Its IBUs do align with the style guidelines and whatnot, but it's absurd. It's an exercise in, you know, trying to get everything as difficult as possible, maybe. Anyhow, brew day went smooth. Everything was great. So what you see now is this just dirty. A lot of hops, like I said, a lot of hops. And basically, I'm just going to hose it out, clean it out like normal. I have numerous other videos kind of detailing this process and how I do it. So I'll quickly pull the center tube, open the valve, dump it into a bucket, and just kind of spray it down, hose it out. Now, I didn't do any mechanical scrubbing with my sausage fingers today, right? Zero. No scrubbing. No agitating with a sponge or anything like that. One other kind of a tip here, guys. In my B80, in my typical brew, which is about 12 gallons, 11.5 gallons, I never run my elements at 100% except for that one time when I scorched. So I don't run at 100%. It takes me a little bit while to ramp up to the boil. Now, obviously I'm trying to hit, you know, my strike temp full power, it's just water. But when I'm trying to reach boil, I typically have my elements about 75% power. And this is gonna allow me not to have any sort of, just makes them easy to clean. So if you're having issues or struggling, think about not using 100% power to get to boil. Side note, I realize if you're on a 150 and it's full, or a B80 and it's full, you're gonna need more power. But that's a different topic for a different day. So here we are. So initially, guys, there's a couple methods you can do. You can use like a RIMS tube or some sort of external heat source. I really love my RIMS tube. I don't use it for brewing, but I use it for everything brewing related, everything but. So basically you have a couple options: external heat source, external pump, which I do like. You can use your B40, 80 or 150 to heat water inside of it, you know, and do it that way. The B80, the minimum, 5 gallons, guys, is pretty much where you want to be, but that's a lot of water. So today's video, notice I just filled it with about a little over 5 gallons and heated the water that way. The other option would be to just heat water separately and add in about 1.5 gallons, because that's about the minimum volume at least my experience, my pump needed before it would suck any sort of air and cavitate and lose pressure. So today we filled it up with 5 gallons. We added in my beloved 5-star PBW, my regular rates, heated everything up to 140 degrees and kicked it on. Now watch this thing working. It just, it doesn't have the power of my Riptide, the BrewTools pump. We know that it's acceptable. The pump, in my opinion, is adequate for what I'm doing. Let it go for 10 minutes. This is what I opened up to see. It's clean, except for the elements, because those are still covered by water. So the second part of this, we're going to right now off the side here, drain out the water, get it down to that minimum volume, which somewhere around 1.5 gallons. This will let that spray, the agitation, that magical action really blow off all the crud off the elements. At this point, obviously, I'm not heating, so my water temperatures are falling. But what you'll see right now, we'll let it run. And you can see it's running. Once we pop off the lid and look in here, man, boys, this thing is spotless. All I've done at this point is just towel it dry. It's spotless. There's no mess. There's no anything. And, rinsed it obviously with my hose because you got to rinse it, right? Lastly here, you could also, another option, you could use it up the center pipe and discharge run the CIP that way. For me, in my use case, once again, not something I'm going to do, but it absolutely works. Does it have more flow? Maybe. The pitch sounded to me a little bit more aggressive, the sound it made, but that could just be my ears wanting to hear it. Another option would be not to use the extension. So just simply, have it on here in the top of that steam hat, just like this. And that's going to get, higher up volume because this guy doesn't have any flutes, any jets in it that are going to spray water back up top. That's one of the ways I'm sure they're able to get away with a smaller pump. So you might say, Bradley, but it's really easy to clean anyways. Okay, well, if you're running a B40, absolutely, that's a tiny little system. Nothing wrong with it. I'd really like to have one if anyone knows. Anyone. I need one. That's going to be much easier to clean. My B80, I'm a big guy, guys. It's no problem for me to reach in there and clean it. But a 150, that would give me some trouble. And it takes even more water to cover the elements, right? Everything is just more. More water, more time, more chemical, more cost. The CIP solution works. I wish it would have been out a little bit sooner, but I do understand, a lot of things have to be bought. I'm sure the guys at BrewTools had to buy a ton of these things just to get to the point where they could do it, have the capital. So it's awesome that we got this stuff. My advice is go out and get it. It's going to work on whatever configuration you need. I would preface this with, first you should have a steam hat. If you don't have a steam hat, then buy the steam hat, then get the CIP set up. I think personally, that's going to have more benefit for you and ease of use and make things easier than if you don't. So get the steam hat for sure, and you'll be set. Then get the CIP. That's my little rant for the day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this has been helpful. Once again, huge thank you to everyone who likes and subscribes and comments. It helps me out a lot. It keeps me going. It kind of gives me that little push to really see what I could do. All right, guys, I'll quit rambling. Thanks again. This has been Bradley. Remember, home brewing is good, and I'll see you real soon. So basically, here's the setup in a nutshell. Hose coming from an exit valve, any one you want, really doesn't matter, into the top of the steam hat.